every time you're doing movies, when you're sitting back at home, are you watching a lot of worldwide content?
Yes, I do.
And when you
that.
watch, do you watch as a viewer or do you learn from someone?
No, you see, what I do is when I get a certain kind of especially like when I was doing Thar. So when I was doing Thar, I was not only because I was acting, but I was in the film, but we were producing the film also. So there was not a single Western which was made since last 70, 80 years, from the times, from Sergio Leone times. And the films, in childhood I'd seen a few Western films. I again revisited all those films. So I do those kind of things where the kind of character I'm doing, the kind of film it is, so I revisit all the films which are made in that in that genre.
Wow.
And I try to watch it. Wow. So that's what I did when I was doing Thar. And for JugJugg Jeeyo, obviously I watched a lot of Jack Nicholson films.
Okay.
And so Jack Nicholson was kind of my inspiration when I did JugJugg Jeeyo.
Amazing.
Yeah. A lot of scenes. I'm being very honest with you. Were inspired by what he did in his films. Yeah.
No wonder it was so magical. Anil, you've also had a lot of peaks. Suddenly there'll come a Nayak, then there'll come a Mr. India, then there'll come a Welcome, which people still love on TV and enjoy. Then there'll come a JugJugg Jeeyo, which has a beautiful young star cast also. But you and Neetuji also steal the show quite a bit. So one is, when y'all are making this, do you have an idea at the back of your mind? Ye to click hogi.
JugJugg Jeeyo, I was very, very sure.
Confident.
Because the idea itself was very, which was quite, it just hits you. There's a, son who wants to, who's having issues with his wife and he wants to separate, and suddenly the father says, before listening to him, he says, I want to separate from your mother, my wife, And tu to idhar tak hi shadi shuda, main gale tak, that dialogue, I love that dialogue, main gale tak shadi shuda hu. So I am bored and I want to, go my way. I want to find love.
Right.
So I just found that idea fascinating. I said, this is the idea. It's going to, like for example, when I heard Total Dhamal also, it's a very mainstream film.
It is.
So when Indu narrated me the idea, I knew, this film is going to, do well. So when he narrated the character, the Gujarati dialect wasn't there. The Gujarati and the characterization was not so fleshed out. So then I sat with him. I said, if I can flesh it out and make it a little more, something which I've never done. I don't do it to
just do it. Yeah.
Just do it, but I just do it so that people are watching me since so many years.
Right.
How do I make? When I go on the set, I should feel challenged.
Yeah.
So I said, I've never played a Gujarati. Let me play a Gujarati in this. So I tried to flesh it out and did that Total Dhamal. Obviously, you'll be wondering. So my family, people would say, I said, are you working with Total Dhamal? Yeah? You working as if you signed a Spielberg film. I said, no. I said, I just want to go and have fun. I said, when I go on the set, I don't want to look jaded and bored when I'm on the set. So I said, let me find something interesting in every role which I do. So that's what I try to do.